Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we have a massive update because, as you know, the last 4 years in crypto, there has been a conversation around Bitcoin ETFs, and today we have breaking news that a Bitcoin ETF might be coming as early as Monday, and we're going to be talking about that in this video. We're also going to talk about Bitcoin because when this news broke, Bitcoin jumped, and we officially rallied to $60,000 for the first time in 4 months, so we have a lot of technicals and fundamentals to cover in today's video. If you want to be up to date on what the market is doing and where it might be going over the weekend, moving into the beginning of next week, you're not going to want to miss this video. Without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. SEC likely to allow Bitcoin futures ETF to trade next week, so say reports. The long-awaited launch of a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund could finally arrive on Monday. Citing people familiar with the matter, Bloomberg has reported that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission is poised to approve the first Bitcoin futures ETFs in the country's history. The anonymous sources said the regulator isn't likely to block the products from starting to trade next week. This was announced 10 hours ago, about 12 hours ago at the time of this video going up. A futures product is likely to be the first one approved since they are viewed more favorably by regulators, which this is concerning to me. I would much rather this be a physically backed ETF than a futures project, but it is better than nothing. Futures are governed by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and require investors to put down cash on margin to trade them. Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric Balchunas, I always butcher his name. If you guys know how to say that, tell me in the comments. Is confident that the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, which by the way has been being proposed for nearly 4 years now. I've been reading about this for literally the whole time I've been in crypto. Could be the first one launched as the decision deadline is Monday, October the 18th. So as early as Monday, we could have an answer on this. He also says that the Investco Bitcoin Strategy ETF may be approved the following day, barring any further delays by the SEC. Just in, Bitcoin Futures ETF said not to face any opposition at the SEC, according to multiple sources confirming this. And by the way, Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, wants an ETF to come through, whether he will say it or not. Why? Because if the ETF gets approved during his tenure as the chairman of the SEC, he is going to be able to be the one who sets the precedent that we will probably be following for the next 100 years on how ETFs and cryptocurrencies are processed. So he definitely wants it to happen while he's in office. I think it is going to happen soon, and it seems like some people familiar with the matter think the same thing. But that has led to some updates on the chart. Remember, I said 10 hours ago this news broke. Well, guess what happened 12 hours ago? Bitcoin started moving to the upside. In fact, we rallied all the way up to $59,000 for the first time in this rally, and we actually broke above this short-term uptrending level of resistance, which, by the way, looks like a short-term level of resistance, but if you look back on history, it actually has a lot of other levels playing into it. In fact, there are several levels of resistance that are convergent right now that Bitcoin is in contention with. If we look at all three of these, we can see that there are multiple levels of resistance converging around Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has, technically speaking, managed to break bullish above all of them, and actually Bitcoin has come down and tested support on these levels. That means that because of this news, Bitcoin moved into a small rally, and we are now seeing some bullish price action occur. In fact, we have seen a strong buy signal come in on LuxAlgo on the 1-hour chart, 4-hourly chart, and also out on the daily chart if you take a look right here. Now, one of the things I do want to point out that might be a little bit discouraging to investors is the fact, if we go ahead and delete all of this, that there is an ascending wedge forming on Bitcoin. This is one of the only things that I can really point to that is very bearish on Bitcoin other than the significant lack of daily chart volume, but that is starting to turn around. Down on the 1-hourly chart, you can see that we are in a rising wedge. Rising wedges typically break to the downside, but considering these fundamentals such as this news story and many other things we talked about in Coffee and Crypto this morning, I think that that's not going to be a concern, and we are going to move to the upside. Guys, there are literally dozens of technicals that I went into in Coffee and Crypto this morning. This show is called Crypto Espresso because I try and bring it to you quickly. I want to make sure that you have a bite-sized piece of content that you can use to digest what's going on in crypto. So here's the point that we went into in detail this morning. Bitcoin right now just broke $60,000. It's sitting right around that level right now. there is news that is going to be coming out, hopefully in the next 3 to 4 days, if these sources are correct, that we may be about to see literally the biggest news story in the history of Bitcoin come to fruition. If that occurs, that could be the catalyst that we need to rally all the way back to $65,000 and beyond and kick off the next phase of this bull market. But I want to hear your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. Are we about to see that massive rally? I think that it is in the cards, and I actually think it's quite likely. So tell me what you think. I want to hear it. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you think that this content is helpful for you, and share this content if you think it would be helpful for a friend or a colleague of yours. Without much further ado. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh!